am the dude, trying to be, but my focus keeps slipping.
Screens call my name, but I know who's to blame. It's not them, it's the choices I make. Time to learn how to take it all back. We're lollydabbing through books, finding what's true, learning the tools that can carry us through. This month's story shows how we grow. Indistractable is the way to go. We're indistractable, unstoppable. Traction makes the mission possible. Distraction's just an itch in disguise. With the trigger we can recognize. Make a plan, set the stage. Keep your mind from the endless cage. From values to time, from traction to mind. We decide how we live every day. Build the focus that never will fade. We're lollydabbing through books, finding what's true, learning the tools that can carry us through. This month's story shows how we grow. Indistractable is the way to go. We're indistractable, unstoppable. Traction makes the mission possible. We're lollydabbing through books, finding what's true, learning tools that can carry us through. This month's story shows how we grow. Indistractable is the way to go. We're indistractable, unstoppable. Traction makes the mission possible. Distraction's just an itch in disguise. With the trigger we can recognize. Make a plan, set the stage. Keep your mind from the endless cage. From values to time, from traction to mind. We design how we live every day. Build the focus that never will fade. Lollydabbing through books, indistractable. Take back your focus, take back your look. We're lollydabbing through books.
We've got the look. Oh, no, not that one. That first time I heard that was a pretty good one. So,
You know,
not bad for a fake show, you know, that doesn't tackle real problems in real life.
I mean,
If only we could make a show like that.
If only.
Yeah.
I don't know. I take a lot, you know, the books that I tend to gravitate towards for this show are really not geared towards people in our specific situations. And also the audience that I would like to appeal to the most, which is sort of like this working class. Hi, Jimmy C. This sort of working class, normal, regular Joes and Josephines, if you will.
Yep.
Or what's the non-binary term for Joes and Josephines? I don't know. If somebody comes across this, please leave it in the comments because
Yeah, help us out because
I'm trying to be.
I'm 61 and the political correctness movement has escaped me completely.
But
So
I do want to be. I do want to be all inclusive, and I feel like a lot of these books are specifically geared towards like more white collar workers, people who are self-employed in like content building or like what is it, like thought leaders and such. And I really want to take the concepts that are in these books and bring them back to like the people who are clocking in to hourly sort of jobs and doing hourly sort of things.
or on a fixed income.
Or on a fixed income, because I do feel like these concepts can help people in that space, but we are less inclined to sort of gravitate towards them or to find the nuggets of information that can relate to us, because it's
Yeah,
really
that
easy
makes
to
sense.
shut down and be like, this doesn't apply to me because I don't X, Y, and Z. And so because I have kind of pushed myself out of that box and ingested a lot of this information, I do find useful nuggets in all of them.
Yeah.
So that being said, here we are diving into the book Indistractable.
What?
And it is really written for a person who is in an office job or a person who is really in control.
What kind of
their
job did
time.
you say?
An
What?
office sort of job.
Office.
I don't
Office. Are we talking about office jobs?
Well, no, we aren't. But this book is geared towards somebody who, say, is like creating like they might be clocking in
I
a
should
sort
mute
of
that
hourly
phone.
manner.
Uh huh.
but they are like given like projects to be working on, and I don't like in my personal job as a chef, I'm given projects to work on, but they're all like hands-on things and not so much like thinky things where you're given like a week.
See, my
to do
job
it.
was a combination of both. I had hands-on stuff. I had to look and examine, look for differences, things, and I had to think who might have that. So
Right, but you're also dealing with like the influx of customers that kind of dictate the timing of your day.
true.
And I think there's a lot of parallels between like a retail management or like a retail sort of job and like what I do, in the sense of that we have we're trying to fit these things in amongst serving a customer directly in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and most of my projects really need to be completed within the day, but there is a lot of forethought that needs to happen as to like what day do I need to complete that project and what are the triggers to get started on that project. Like,
In
is
your
it a far
position
level?
as a chef doing what you do you have like, I'm just making this up because I don't know. I've never asked you before. Do you have like a menu that's going to happen next week and you've got to plan how you're going to execute that menu? Or does your menu change daily based on a selection and what a customer may order? See what I mean there?
Yes, and it's a little bit of both. In
Okay.
the sense of not all restaurants are like this because I've worked at all sorts. The restaurant that I'm working at currently is the most, in my opinion, the most successful restaurants are the ones that have a very limited and clear vision of what they serve. So
Okay.
basically, they have like a few items that are considered like appetizers or small bites.
Mm-hmm.
They have like a handful, and by handful I mean like 6 like main course meals. They have
Right.
like 3 or 4 salads, and then they have 3 or 4 or 5 desserts, and like that is like it can all pretty much fit on like 2 pages.
Yeah.
And maybe the backside being desserts. Now I've worked at places like Elmer's, which is a diner which serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner all day.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, it's this ridiculous, it's like a Denny's, you know, where you're just flipping. And those are fine, but they're not very visionary, in my
Yeah.
opinion. And they're very like, they're based around this volume concept that I just think that most restaurants that aren't considered fast food should get the fuck away from.
Yeah. My son
Unless
worked
you
for
were-
Sherry's briefly and he was bored to tears.
Yeah, because it is one of those things where everything, like our gravy was bought in bags at Elmer's.
Yep.
Whereas we make our mayonnaise from scratch where I'm at.
That's exactly how he started. And so when he went to Sherry's for that, it was an easy job. It was cake.
Yeah.
For him. It was like he could sleep and do that job.
Or be an alcoholic, or like all the things. You can
right?
do all the things when you're at a job like
Yeah,
Sherry's.
that's
And I
crazy.
really
But
would
yeah, I know what you
consider
mean.
That sort of fast food, even though it's sit down dining, it is.
Oh, no,
still
I
fast
absolutely
food.
consider
And
it
people,
fast
like,
food.
Even like the Outback or some of these chain restaurants, like it's really constructed towards the sort of fast food concept.
Yep.
Now that being said, I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on.
God bless you.
Thank you. That being said, we have the staples on, and we're going to do a menu change in October. So he follows the sort of like 3-month sort of thing. Nothing worse than canned clam chowder. Agreed.
Oh, I love the way you were saying it first time. That's way better. Clammed canned chowder.
Clammed canned chowder. It's just the worst.
Classic.
And where we are at, we are not going to do, we don't do clam. We do it, we're moving to a chowder. Like right now we're doing salmon. They're actually steelhead croquettes. But in the fall we're going to move to a steelhead chowder. Why? Because trout makes more sense where we live. So like it would
Yep.
be,
There's some salmons up there, but most of the salmons get done before they get up there.
Right. And then the steelhead is salmon like.
Well, it's salmon-like, and it's the only species that can migrate more than one time.
Yeah. Yep.
Trout can go from fingerling to ocean to spawning to back to ocean.
Yeah.
No other fishes do that.
And there are some things, I mean, we are a little bit fish heavy, I would say. Like,
Mm.
we don't really have like a chicken main course. We have chicken that you can add to a homemade pasta. We've got chicken that we add to our salads as like an add-on sort of thing.
Right.
But we have a steelhead, we have an ahi, and we have a mahi. And the ahi and the mahi are kind of one of those things where I'm like, why are we serving these?
Uh-huh.
Other than they're trendy.
Very much
But
so.
that being said, so
That gives
we
you an
do-
idea what we're talking about as far
Right.
as the
And
context.
it's about projects, right? It's about projects. It's about completing things. It's about not being distracted. And I see all the time the things that we're going to address in this book showing up in the kitchen environment, in the sense of people who can't accomplish certain tasks. Like we have, like we take our trim from our filet mignon, from our flank steaks, and from our because we cut our fillets from the loin, we cut our ribeyes from the loin, we cut our flank steaks from the big like piece, and we make it into flanks. And so we have a lot of trim, which we turn into our burger. Okay, and so those are sort of like long-term projects where I work. But then we have like our sauces that we make every couple of days, and then we have like our mise en place, which is be like the veg that we cut daily.
Agreed, Jimmy.
If I'm out of rush, it should be fresh. It should be fresh. So then we have like our daily like mise en place, like we should be cutting like green onions every 2 days, period, end of story. I make these little like pickled ginger roses, which really you can only do so many so far out in advance just because of time constraints.
Right.
All these things. So like the longer projects, our salmon croquettes, it's like you cook the salmon in white wine and you combine it with this bechamel sauce, and then you make the little balls, and then you have to like freeze the little balls to be able to like bread the little balls, and then and we have like an empanada thing where like we slow cook our pork, and then we create a filling, and then we use the filling to go into the empanadas, and the empanadas get their fresh pastry dough, and then we fill them, and then we freeze them, and then we deep fry them, and then bake them to order. And so like all of these things have kind of a long process behind it, and then you have to like build the ingredients. So like all of our sauces are from scratch, but some of our sauces use our homemade mayo, and so we have to make sure like there's some items that are built up in a bulk sort of sense, and then we pull from those in order to make a variety of smaller items. Yeah. And so what I have seen, and this happens in a lot of kitchens, is some of those longer projects will get drawn out over hours because people are just like, I'm trimming the fat from the meat product, from the steaks that were cut, and like I've literally watched 2 people work on that for like 4 hours. And then the other day, this gal that I have trained to do it,
Trimming fat or making ground meat?
we trim and we separate the fat. We separate the fat from the meat so that we can do a very specific ratio of fat to meat when we
Okay, I get you.
So we have to separate it in order to be able to grind it back together, in order to be able to season it, in order to be able to make it into burger patties. And part of, like that process that can become very, can really lower the quality of what we put out is the amount of time that we have that we allow the meat to oxidize, right? So it's exposed to the air. So we have a vacuum sealer that we use for a lot of our stuff. But like I said, I've watched 2 people work on this project of separating probably 50 pounds of meat, and it'll take them 4 hours. It took this one girl 1.5, not even 1, maybe 1 hour and 15 minutes to do the same job. And the difference is the distractibility.
Yep.
And the rate in which she's able to make the decision. Is this fat? Is this not fat? Do I split the difference? What do I do? And you're doing that with every single little piece that you're cutting through. right? And because of how I trained her, she was able to go through and do it very quickly. And the full circle, 15 minutes into this, is that distractibility factor. So when you have two people working on a project like that, they're going to be BSing, they're going to be and fucking around, right? And so having one person working on it solitary, like in a solitary manner, is going to produce a different
Hi,
result than
Camellia.
two people working on it together. Hi,
Yep.
Camellia. And so because she was able to earbud it in, and she was also washing dishes at the same time. So she was making this decision of, is there enough dishes that I need to stop doing what I'm doing? Or am I able to just kind of plow through? And she was able to really dial in and be like, I can just do this, and those can wait.
Mm-hmm.
And then she took it, when she got it all separated, she put it in the fridge. She busted out the dishes for an hour, and then she got it back out of the fridge, and she was able to vacuum seal it.
Yeah.
And so now it is preserved in a manner that holds better. And the next time we work together, we're going to go through and we're going to grind it. And we grind it coarse first. And then we measure out the weight ratio of fat
To fat,
meat.
because you've got one that is mostly fat, one that is mostly meat.
And then we regrind it together. But the
Regrind
grinding
it
process
together.
happens twice, because we do
Twice.
a coarse grind on the individual items, and then we do
Yeah.
a fine
You
grind
and
on
my
the combined.
son you guys would be like bosom buds. You guys would sit and have beers and talk
We would
about.
talk about it, the
Oh,
process behind
man.
kitchens.
Yeah.
Because, and we bitch about how annoying people are when they work in kitchens, etc.
Yeah.
But my point is, she was able to make those decisions and go through it because she really was employing some of these indistractability concepts.
Right.
And understanding what it took to get the task done.
In
Now,
this
I don't-
conversation, if you will notice, I have been a distraction on purpose, asking questions that didn't really need to be answered for people to understand what was going on. But I hope now they can look back and see how just a conversation can distract someone.
And that's the kind of point too, is this particular employee doesn't have a lot of side conversations. And I find myself like, where I have to be like, cool, and like somebody will be talking to me.
Focused and
like,
down. Yeah.
You can walk with me, but I'm not going to stand here and talk to you.
Yeah.
So like I'm doing the thing, and now I need to walk the thing outside and put it in the deep freezer. I need to walk the thing down. Like I'm not going to just stand here.
Right.
And I think that, however, this book is written for people who are like getting emails and phone notifications and those things.
They have social to scroll, and I see that point.
And in some ways, maybe social media is a part of their work, but like mostly, like you're getting emails and stuff, and like when I did some white collar work for a startup company, I was like, I will not answer your email right away. Period. End of story. Because I'm in customer phone call mode right now. And if I don't have customer phone call mode separated from answering email mode, then my ability to execute on this is going to, it's not going to be as effective.
The reality of the future is that is going to be a part of nearly every job. I mean, even HR departments now have dedicated personnel that go look at your social pages, your Instagram, your Twitter. They see what you chat about, what you talk about, because it says a lot about you when you do that. This whole Big Brother thing has been going on for a lot longer than people think.
Oh yeah, much longer.
Just different ways. And all those are
people-
distractions. Every single one of them are potential distractions.
And it depends. I mean, like, no matter what side of the coin you're on, whether you're in the HR or you're the person who is just talking and maybe bitching about the company that you work for, it all matters. It all matters.
Of course it matters.
And I think, too, what really struck me about this is there's a couple of nuggets that come out of it that speak to me specifically that really have nothing to do with distractible or not. I just think are good principles in order to make sure that the time that you are spending... No, let me rephrase that. What you value is where you are spending your time, and the language that you're using is reflecting the value of what you of what you're spending time on, and what you're paying attention to is also reflecting what you value. And the knowledge that you kind of take away from being really aware of where you are spending time and attention on and what you're talking about. And that's a little acronym I've built over the years, and I call it TALK, because time, attention, language, knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
TALK. Um, and if you're ever wondered why you can't get something done, or why it seems like you are not, and you can shift that at any given time. So, like, say you're trying to work on your budget, Richard. Are you spending a majority of your time looking at your budget? Is that where your attention is going? Is where your money is going? That's where your attention is focused. Is the language that you're using about saving money or how much money you're spending? Because if you're, if you focus more on what you are saving, you're going to just kind of perpetuate the saving mindset. Whereas if you're talking about more about what you're spending,
I would have to say it's my spending, but I do also think about a time when I may be able to save, if that makes sense. I don't expect to have a growing savings now.
well, yeah, but you've made the distinction of like where you're going to, as opposed to being like, oh, I have to spend money on this, I have to spend money on that, I can't possibly. Instead, you were looking at, where could I trim money? Where can I save money? Where can I
Yep.
not spend money? So
Yeah.
I guess that would be more accurate. It's like, where are you spending versus not spending? Not necessarily savings. I used maybe the wrong language there. But it's
Mm-hmm.
like the not spending versus spending. And now if you're like, I am not going to spend on this, versus ruminating over what you are spending on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're going to make more progress on deciding what not to spend money on, as opposed to just ruminating
Yeah.
over what you are.
I agree with that, because if looking
It's a
back through what
nuanced
I've
sort
done,
of thing.
that's exactly how I've handled it. 100%.
And so most of your language was geared towards like, I am not going to spend money on this,
Mm-hmm.
in the interest of having less going out the door.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of unlocked that knowledge for you of like, well, I actually figured out that I can live without this. I can live without that. I can live without that. It's really not as necessary as I thought it was. Whereas if you're just looking at like that going out column, you're like, but it all feels necessary.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
No, it absolutely does. It absolutely
and that's
does.
because you had this very clear value in your mind that you're like, I have
Spotify
this-
without commercials. I'm just going to use this as an example. Spotify without commercials and continuous downloaded music if I happen to be in an out of service area for a little while, I thought were very important things, until I looked at, where do I go most of the time, and how long do I actually listen to the music on the radio? It turned out to be about 15 to 25 minutes, which means I would hear one commercial set, the rest music. And I get that for free. That's well worth it to me. That's way better than, what was that, $12.99 a month or whatever I was spending before. And I wasn't even using half of my available feature.
Right. And I got hooked into Spotify Premium because I was driving 45 minutes, and of that 45 minutes, 35 of them I was out of service.
Yeah. Now, see,
if
that
I
would be that would change my priority list on that.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And because it is my priority to be able to stay engaged and stay learning, even during that 35 minutes. Had I just been using Spotify for music, I probably would not have made the same decision, because I could literally turn on the local radio station and it would be not a problem.
Right.
But
And if you
because
go
I
out
was
of
using
area,
it-
you just tune in the next local radio station that plays the music you want to hear. I mean, it's not rocket science.
It's not rocket science. But there is some granularity that you have to engage in to really kind of look at these things. This book is all about engaging in that sort of granular thought process when it comes to stuff.
You have to look
Okay.
at you a lot in this.
Look at me. personally?
No,
Or
you as in the personal you are will be looking at the person you as in who you are quite a lot. That is
absolutely.
very much encouraged in this. I've gotten up through the well, it's a little bit confusing here. I want to open this point with you because I want to say thank you. Carrie gifted me this book, and it's I've been listening to the audio of it. Hang on, where is it? There it is. Okay, so I'm reading down opening credits. I get yada yada. What's your superpower? Being indistractable is number 2. Then, being indistractable, you have traction and distraction. No number, no letter, no nothing. Then, magically, you have part 1, master internal triggers. And then you go to 3, what motivates us really. And that's actually how far I am in the book right now. But what I want to know is what happened in number 3 for traction and distraction, because that's kind of what that should be, or 2A. And then what happened in number 2? Do we hate 2 all of a sudden? I feel like I'm missing something, but it sounds perfect.
Okay. Let me, I'm going to scroll. Okay. So what I have pulled up here is, okay. So when you go to, just, let's see, share this tab instead. Okay. You can go to claim book bonuses. And here's what
Right.
I think is a loophole, and maybe give it a try just for our viewers' sake. If you go to this one right here, and I will put the link in here, copy, paste. I'm going to put it in the comments. Try clicking on that, Richard. And what I want to see is this, because I think that you can claim these book bonuses no matter what. So our listeners could go out. And
All right.
claim
So
these
you want me to click on claim book bonuses? Yes.
Yes, please. Yeah.
All right. Now I've done that. Now I got to put in some information.
Yeah. And you didn't purchase the book.
No, I didn't.
I think he, honestly, I think anybody who is listening to this could just put in Audible and put in Indistractable. So, like, just click on that and tell me what you see. And actually, I will stop sharing, and maybe you can share your screen and show us what you've got when you click on that.
Is this purchased within North America? Yes. Oh, hang on. Let me share.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun,
And this,
dun.
I encourage all of you guys to do this, even if you have not actually purchased the book. We're going to go through it in a pretty granular sort of fashion. And Nir Eyal really goes through a lot of these concepts in his blog and in any podcasts that you find on YouTube, etc. You can find all of this.
That's the one.
You
Hang on, I'm trying to find it.
should just be able to click on claim book bonuses, and then it should just be enter your first name.
Yeah, but that's not. No, we're in a different place than that.
Well, like when I click on it, it just takes me to first name, email, Indistractable order receipt, and then retailer, and then was this order purchased in North America?
I'm 100% with you. It is not giving me the option to share the screen, the window, the tab that I have that open in. I cannot share it. It doesn't exist
Shut up.
in my Chrome tabs. I will screenshot this. I'll figure out how to screenshot it and prove it. It is not here.
Okay, well, I'll share it.
I
then, 'cause
can't
have it
share
pulled up
it.
here.
I want to. My Audible Cloud player is there. My YouTube chat live is there. My email, all the other tabs are there, but not this one.
Okay.
Of course, I agree.
Oh, it is not popping up under. You guys don't see that.
Nope. I hear a doo-doo doorbell thing happening.
Okay, so when I hit share, and then I hit share screen, and then I go to my Indistractable. There that is. It says I've reached 8
Yep.
Boston Lighthouse. Okay. Oh, there we go.
Nope.
Add to stage.
Wait.
There we go.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
When you click on the link that I put in the chat,
This is what I'm looking at right now.
This is
exactly.
what you
Except
should
it
see.
says except it says my name
Yes.
at the top.
Yes, and so you should be able to type in your first name, your email, and since you can't share it, why don't you go ahead and enter in that information, and then when you put in the section that says here the Indistractable, I don't see where I'm like typing nonsense right there.
Order/receipt thing. Yeah.
I think if you just put Audible in there, because we don't have, I didn't have a receipt number.
I see.
Just put audio version.
Audio version or Audible?
Just put an Audible there.
Okay, I put Audible there.
And then select retailer as Amazon.
Yep, I did that.
Okay, and then yes, in the North America, if that's where you are. If you're not in
Yep.
North America, click something else.
Thank you. You should receive an email with access information to your Indistractable bonus resources shortly. Please allow 5 to 10 minutes for delivery. In my latest book, Indistractable, How to Control Your Attention and Choose Your Life, you'll learn how to regain control of your time and attention. We look forward to hearing from you more about your journey.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to share this tab instead. I'm going to add this too. Okay, and so what you get is actually, so what you get is a link in your email. And that link in your email brings you to this spot right here called Member Resources.
Member Resources. Okay.
Okay. So when it shows up in 5 to 10 minutes, you'll get this thing right here. And then you click on the Indistractable workbook. And I think this will work for anybody if you just hit Audible. I don't think there's like a...
And do the same thing that we just did.
Do the same thing that we just did. I don't think there's a verifiable thing... the process that he goes through to make sure, and he doesn't verify through.
Yeah, Jimmy C, thank you. I realized that after she had already gotten it up there that I was on the wrong tab of the share. I am that stupid. Anyway, go ahead.
Again, this is for anybody, Camellia, Jimmy C. I'd be curious to see if this works for you because you don't actually have the audio version, but I'm pretty sure you can get to this members resources section relatively easily. I love all of these resources are so good. And then as a part of the resources, one that we're going to be referring to quite regularly is this Indistractable workbook. Okay, and so this is the way that we kind of do homework. If you cannot, for some reason, game the system like we just showed you, I'm sorry, Nir Eyal, please forgive me. I'm just trying to spread the word of your good word. For people who may not be able to afford this workbook.
Lord, baby Jesus, I kill this person to help you be more gooder. It's for everyone.
Nir Eyal would be all for this, I think. You know,
I know he would, but I just couldn't help it. All I could see was Ricky Bobby praying at the table. Dear baby Jesus. Sorry. Okay. Distraction.
Fine.
Oh my God.
Stay focused. Stay with me, sir. Okay.
I'm trying.
You're gonna get to this workbook here.
That's awesome.
We're gonna work through. If for some reason you cannot get to this workbook on your own, as well as the member resources, look, I'm gonna pull these things up. You're gonna be able to screenshot it, and you'll be able to kind of do these exercises along with us.
Right. If there's a will, there's a way.
There's a will, there's a way. And that's the beauty of the interwebs.
Okay, Indistractable resources. Indistractable workbook.
He found it. You got your email then, yes?
I did get my email. Indistractable companion workbook. Download.
There you go.
This contains adult images known to rot your brain. Do you want to proceed?
It does not. Okay. So in this book, what you're talking about is this, and I don't know what you're talking about because I feel like you covered all the things. I don't know how you. Oh, it's playing.
Are we hi there?
Okay, so when you go to like,
he has such a very, very, very unique voice. I like the narration.
I like his voice. He's got a good voice.
Anyway, so he's talking. I've gotten where the beginning of internal triggers, right?
Yes. And so these are the 4 basic parts that he covers in this book. Okay, is part 1, master internal triggers, which is this one right here.
Yeah.
Okay, part 2, take time for traction. Because what's the opposite of distraction?
No, it's traction, right?
Yeah, it's not focus, it's traction.
Yes.
In and of itself is a little bit of a mind bender. Do you remember hearing his sort of explanation on
Yeah,
the
but
difference
you're
between
right.
focus?
It's difficult. It's difficult to conceptualize what he's talking about, with
Because in
traction
pop
being
culture, we've
something
been
that
told that if you're
attracts
not
you.
distracted, you're focused. But in
It
truth, if you're not
pulls
distracted,
you. Traction pulls you towards your goal.
and traction is about getting
Distraction,
grip, right? Think about
yes,
a
pulls you
vehicle.
away. Right.
When your vehicle is distracted, so not having traction, it's spinning out, right?
Yep.
And you're putting a lot of energy but not going anywhere.
Right.
Whereas traction is it grips in and you move forward. So the opposite of distraction is traction, right? And so that's why he has make time for traction and prevent distraction with, basically agreements with yourself, with packs, right? And how to the juxtaposition of internal triggers versus external triggers.
Yeah.
So did you make it all the way to the part where he talks about how let's see. Let me pull up my thing again. How time management is about pain management.
I am just about to start that section. I have not actually. That's 4. That's section 4, and I have
Master your
gone through.
internal.
Yeah.
Master your
Yep.
internal. Okay, so we'll save
So
that
no,
one more
I
for
haven't.
next time.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll talk about these superpowers. We need to learn how to avoid distraction. Living lives we want not only requires to do the right things, but also necessitates not doing the things we know we'll regret. The problem is deeper than tech. Do you remember him? Okay, so you probably heard about the part where he was like, he eliminated all this tech, right?
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
still found
absolutely.
himself
I love
doing what?
the analogy that he brought up there, because it's a personal one for him, and he's speaking from his own experiences, and that's always good.
Yes. And we say, I mean, especially in this day and age, very commonly, we're like, well, if we just cut out XYZ social platforms,
Well, he brought
we'll
it all the
have
way
more
back
time.
to. He just took it back in time. That in the time of Socrates, the printed word was considered a distraction, because the way in which you were expected to engage was verbally and through stories and live. You weren't supposed to read about it in a book or study it, but that's not how it's supposed to be. That you just thought about it in your free time, and then you move it forward in time, and you put whatever you want in there through time. There's books, then there's music, then there's radio, or books, then there's radio, then there's music, then there's TV. As technology progresses, it just changes the distractor, not the fact that distraction has always existed. Can't get away from it.
Thank you. Yes. And what is the definition of distraction? It is something that takes you from what it is that you want to spend your attention, your time, and what you want to talk about and what you want to learn from.
Exactly.
So whether it's your children, or whether it's learning a new skill, or whether it is completing a project, those are things that will take you away from it. And it has nothing to do with current technology, and has everything to do with what are you escaping from.
Yep.
Even healthy things can be distractions from what it is that you want to accomplish. Did you make it through the story where the lady talked about her exercise
Yes.
app?
Yes. The
How
pedometer app that made it into a game.
Yes.
Competitive.
Which is fun and fascinating, but when you
Yeah, but it
realize-
wasn't fun and fascinating what happened to her.
No, can you maybe give our audience just a little cliff note?
This poor woman,
Oh,
I ain't going to go
Richard.
through the whole thing. This poor woman thought, well, I walk a lot and I want to be more fit. So I'm going to get a pedometer to count my steps. She got an app that did this, and I can't remember what it was called. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It was made by a game manufacturer, developers.
And stuff
And
like
they
that. Is it the fact that it's made by a gay manufacturer the problem? At the end of the story, was that the problem?
No, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
I think it's important so when you get to the end of the explanation, it matters. So they were game developers, so they made it competitive. When she started doing it, she took that competition very seriously and found herself pacing and doing all sorts of crazy things, culminating in walking up and down her basement stairs for an entire night to gain bonus points, or three times the points for doing those things literally all night long instead of going to sleep and being ready for her day the next day. And that was kind of her wake up moment, and realized that this was not helpful. It was, in fact, a distraction.
A distraction. And then do you remember what she realized she was trying to distract herself from?
No, I do not remember that.
So she was actually having problems with her marriage before.
That's right. That's right.
And she was in this sort of liminal space of her and her husband knew that they were having problems with the marriage, but she was trying to get a job at the same college that he was working at, and they had kind of this concern that maybe they wouldn't hire her if they knew that there was problems in that marriage. And so through verbal or nonverbal agreement, they had kind of decided to waylay things until after like this job was secured for her. And she was not
in context. It takes months to go through this job get process. It ain't like you went to an interview 3 times and it is.
And that's that, or one time, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so she was really just, her brain basically told her that she needed to focus on fitness, but what it was trying to do is distract her from this sort of pain
That she was having.
And fear that she was having, the pain of her marriage dissolving, and this fear of maybe not getting this job, and all of those things kind of culminating to this point where, like, I need to do something. I'm going to pick physical fitness, which seems like a pretty innocuous and positive activity.
It does.
But the point of the matter is, and that's what we're going to probably end up going over next week, is that time management is pain management.
And that is the concept
what
that
you're
I have
doing to feel better, to manage your emotional or your physical pain. Then that, like, if you're in a space where that is happening to you, and let's face it, we're all humans, we're always going to be having some sort of physical or mental pain that we're managing. If you are doing it in an unconscious way, you're gonna get caught up in these behaviors that are not useful to actually moving you forward. And you can manage that pain in a way that does not self-destruct, I think, is kind of the crux of this first part.
Yep.
So what would your life, we'll look at this exercise one. What would your life be like if you were indistractable? Write down some specific ways that your life would improve. So Richard, right now, what is a distraction? And then also, like, what if you weren't distracted by that? How do you think your life would improve?
It's a great question. Where are you at in this thing that I'm not seeing? I'm jumping over it.
Okay, so...
Oh, here it is. Remember this? Is that's the point you were hanging out at there?
I am on page 7 of this workbook.
Yeah. What is your superpower?
What is your superpower? Yep. So we read the introduction in the first chapter.
No. I'm thinking about the question. Now that I'm looking at it, now I'm thinking about the question. Sorry. Not sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Okay. I'll have to print this out at my friend's.
Yeah, because
I'll buy her a ream of paper. She'll like that.
Yeah, it is 80 pages at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, buying her a ream of paper and stuff would be way cheaper than going to
Staples.
print copier or Staples or buying a cheap printer and then refilling it with ink a couple of times to print out all the pages.
Oh, listen, you have to have an app, and you have to.
Oh, it's so
You
crazy.
have to subscribe.
Oh,
I have to pay
God.
$6.99 a month to print unlimited, and if I don't pay that $6.99 a month, my printer over here is a paperweight.
Yeah.
Paperweight.
Yeah, you don't own anything anymore. But we're getting distracted. So I will go through this, and I will do this next week. And I will write down some things.
Let's just verbalize it. We're still
I was gonna, if you'd have let me finish talking instead of walking over the top of me, I was gonna say, but I'll answer this to the best of my ability right off the cuff. But you fuck that all up.
I did. I did. I'll own that.
Anyway, what would and I'm presuming you are just taking this as face value right now. What would it be like right now if
you were to reflect over the last 72 hours? Think about what distracted you. And then what if you were able to eliminate those things, and how would your life improve?
You know, right now, to be honest, I'm having trouble remembering what things may have distracted me. But I know there are some, but I had a very busy weekend. Friday, I was dog sitting for my friends that went to a Seattle Seahawks game. It was preseason, but anyway, they got to go see them play in Seattle. That was really cool. And so I was there Friday and Saturday. And I was at the same time making arrangements to take Mr. Biggles to his new forever home. Because just before Friday, I interviewed and found the perfect person to take him. And so I was making arrangements for that to happen on Sunday, communicating with her and with my director at Cat's Cradle. So I didn't do a lot of me things this particular weekend in the last 72 hours. That's I think why I'm struggling, because I was so busy this weekend. But I probably could have spent less time playing poop games while I was dog sitting. Poop games.
Poop games?
Yeah. You don't know what poop games are?
What are poop games?
Oh, okay. Poop games are when you gotta go poop and you need something to do to take your mind off to go into poop so you can go poop better, faster, and easier. You play the poop game because it distracts you from that you don't want to think about. So it fits right into this. It fits right into this.
Here's my question for you. Did you spend more time sitting so that your legs were numb and you had that ring imprint? because you were enjoying your poop game so much that you probably sat there a little longer than maybe was necessary?
Well, I'm going to answer yes to that because it's a great joke, and because the truth of the matter is I was playing said poop games a lot of time while sitting in an easy chair just hanging out with the dog.
Okay.
So that's, in fairness, that was a distraction for me. But one of the few that I can think of over this weekend is that.
Okay, so if you were playing poop games in the easy chair, which is technically not while you're pooping.
It's still poop games. Accomplishing the same thing. It's distracting my mind from thinking about other stuff. See, that's why it fits this so well. I'm looking at the chat right now. See, you guys got to back me up here because I'm right. You know I am right.
Because we play poop games, yes. And I get lost in...
It's an example of technology distracting me unnecessarily.
Yeah.
And a place where I could choose something.
Or I get sucked in and then I get up from the poop game time.
Yep.
And I have a ring and my legs are numb. And then I get up and I go to sit in a different chair and I'm still playing the game. Because I'm sucked in. Because they're so good at how they create those, right?
Yes.
And... considering what it is that you're valuing and what you're trying to accomplish in your life, those poop games are not necessarily moving you forward on those things, right?
No, but I love what he said. I love what he said about, now we're just using poop games. He doesn't talk about poop games in the book, folks.
But this is a reality.
But planning time for poop games, hear me out, planning times for poop games is not a waste of time, nor is it a distraction, because you
Right.
intentionally planned for that time.
Yes. So while you're actually pooping, if you're playing a poop game, not a problem.
Yeah.
But you also could have been job searching once you got up from the poop, and you went to sit in a
100%
position.
true. And I think these are the things, and that's why I'm excited about this book, is because it will show me stuff that I don't see right now.
Right. And it is fine to be like, I am taking the weekend to dog sit, and I'm going to engage in mindless games because I have been obsessing over trying to find a job for so many days this week that I am taking an intentional day off. Now, you don't have
Yeah.
small children or something that you have to pay attention to
Exactly.
in that sort of manner.
Exactly.
The poop
Nope.
games kind of makes you available to pay attention to this dog that you're playing with for the weekend in which you've committed to do this dog sitting.
It's
There's
100%
nothing
correct.
intrinsically wrong with the decision that you made.
Mhm.
However, if you had said to yourself, I am going to continue my job search through the weekend, and then defaulted to the poop game. How many times can we say poop in this last 15 minutes?
I
of
don't
this
know, but
podcast?
that's awesome. I'm loving it. For those of you that watch the replay, put in the comments how many times we said poop.
Make it a drinking game. That would be fun. Wait, no. We're
No,
not trying to
no,
advocate for that.
no, no.
But, okay. If you want to have fun and you have scheduled in drinking while you watch the replay,
Exactly. Exactly.
Feel free
It's
to make poop
multitasking,
games.
folks. It's multitasking.
you can actually multitask. It's switch tasking, but that's for another day. All right. So that being said, like, had you set out into your weekend of dog sitting to be like, I'm going to still maintain this job search regimen while I'm watching, and then you defaulted to playing poop games instead of doing the thing that you intended, then the poop games would be classified as a
It's a
distraction.
distraction.
So
Same
there is-
activity, different cause. And what is the thing he talked about? Something or other causes. He used pool as an example because that fits here too. When is it the ball, the stick, or the player? And he goes to talking about that. What does he call that?
It's the root
Ah.
cause. It's the root cause of the problem, right? So, or the root cause of the action. So the
The-
game
yeah.
itself is not what is causing you to do the thing.
Mhm.
It is you, the person, choosing to play the game.
Right.
That is the cause of the
Yeah.
action.
The ball and the stick have to be there to play the game.
Right.
Yes, they cause things to happen, but
there's a
they
second or
are
third
something
order of
secondary
action.
causes, or he has a different word, but it's
Yeah.
it's secondary to the main cause, which is the player.
The player.
Player's
And
decisions, the player's aim, all those things are what
your
determine
phone
everything
would
else.
be, in this case, your phone would be the secondary. The game would be the third.
The third.
The person holding the phone and playing the game is actually what is causing this change.
The root cause of the okay.
So
Thank
he
you. That's I
really
wanted to get
dug
into that real quick.
Yeah, he kind of really dug into this idea that it is not the app, it is not the phone that is this addictive behavior. It's our escape from XYZ.
Whatever pain, discomfort
Causes
also
us to pick up
qualifies.
whatever. Because he even talks about how, like, he ordered the newspaper instead of reading.
Oh
the
yeah,
stuff
in his
online,
anti-technology
and then found
time.
himself with a stack of newspapers that were unread because he would just watch the news instead,
Yeah.
and therefore it was more buff. It wasn't as engaging as had he read the newspaper. And sure, he likes reading his news on his phone, but getting the physical newspaper wasn't actually the solve to the problem. It turned out that
Nope.
how he receives the information is not the issue. It's when and how long and what the intentions he had in his own mind that
Mhm.
was the driver behind the gathering of the information. So whether it's
Live
from a
life
newspaper,
intentionally.
live life intentionally, yes. We'll just double tap on that. Live life intentionally. Double tap. Double tap. All right. So, if you hadn't engaged in the poop games longer than you had maybe intended, how do you think your life would have been changed by that? He says improved. I'm going to say changed because improved
Changed.
is really subjective.
I may have discovered another job search. We'll just stick with that. Had I gone with the job search, which is much more productive, and long term would make me able to meet many more of my goals. But
maybe perhaps you would have had like a list of, like, you would have filled out some applications, and instead of starting more application processing on Monday, you would have been following up on applications that you had turned in over the
right,
weekend online.
sending out emails or, hey, remember me? Did you look at? I saw you looked at my application on Friday afternoon. Yada yada yada.
Yeah, it would have been a little bit further moved along. And
Yep.
whether or not that would have accomplished the goal in which you were seeking to accomplish, that's somehow in other people's hands.
I think that's kind of moot.
At a different space. Yeah.
I think that's kind of moot because in the end of all of this, the way I see this book going, in the end of all of this, it's you and how you intend to do things that's going to make the changes. All this book is going to do is show you those areas where you might be failing, or failing is a bad word, where you might be coming up shorter than you could if you made a different decision. Choice. Thank you. Choice.
I think it was Indy who was talking about in her maybe not Indie After Dark, but what's the private show that she does? The back
Speakeasy? The back room speakeasy?
Yes, the Speakeasy, where she was talking about watching a movie that is
yeah. That's the Speakeasy. Yeah, that's the Speakeasy.
Directly related to this, and an interesting fact that we will find out maybe further in this book, but maybe I listened to it on a separate thing of Nir Eyal's commentary, is the idea that social media is addictive, right? And I don't remember the name of the movie off the top of my head, but they interviewed him for it, and they actually ended up not using a lot of his interview because he was like, nah, it's on you.
Mm-hmm.
And this documentary was really geared at trying to blame the social media apps and call them.
I absolutely agree with that take. I mean, personally, that's my same feeling, and everybody's entitled to feel differently. That's not even the point of this. It's just
as like a poor opinion for showing that movie.
That's why I'm bringing this up, because we want people to know that we're just talking about real life decisions that have to be made and are sometimes made, and
but
some
I find
things
it really interesting because that movie is very popular for people who are like, social media is ruining our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And here's somebody who wrote the book Hooked, which is essentially the handbook for people. Like, he even has it on his member resources right here. It's down at the bottom. Let me share this tab instead. It's down here at the bottom, and it says Product Design Resources, Hooked. It's got a supplement. Product Psychology, Hooked Canvas. Habit Summit videos, Hooked in Real Life. These are all videos about how to hook people into a product that you're designing. So he has both available. And that's what I really like about this author's opinion, is that he has literally written the book on how to hook people into apps. And there's a bunch of supplemental resources that are geared towards startup founders and people who write apps. Okay, but he's also
pretty matter of fact. This is light stuff too. This is really light listening. There's no.
It is. We are making it way more in depth and way more complicated than actually how the book is written.
Because that's how we are.
Because that's what we're here for. I think it's really important to really just kind of go a little bit deeper into these things. So I find it really interesting that he wrote the book on how these apps can hook people, and then when the documentary was written and he was like, actually, even though I wrote the book on how to hook people into these apps, I still think we have a lot of personal responsibility. They really edited out a lot of his opinion because of the fact that he was like, and also. And also is kind of where we like to live on this show, is in the and also space, right? And also we have a lot of personal
Folks, you got to go
responsibility in what we
click
do.
this link and go search this website.
Yeah.
There
there's
is
so much there.
so much here.
Yes.
Even if you have no interest in what we're talking about, there's things here you can use. And I don't even know who's listening. I guarantee you find something here. Wow.
Hashtag replay crew.
What a website. Yes, I
Yeah,
highly recommend you
such
go
a
and see
website.
Nir
And
Eyal.
we
Yeah.
told you how to hack it. Just put Audible in there and put audiobook and then North America, and you can get access to all of these without ever having to buy the book. You can become a member of his resources.
But she did
here.
gift me the audiobook so that I could listen to it, because I tried listening to the really shitty oh, it was bad. I only got 8 minutes in and I had to tap out.
If you have the constitutional sort of chutzpah to be able to do these things and listen to it, maybe it'd be helpful to listen to it and have this workbook right alongside it to be a little bit more
I intend to have it open when I'm listening, just to have it there.
But maybe it'll make that sort of dry version of the AI reading it a little bit more palatable. So, like,
this exactly follows the book. It literally exactly follows the book. So this goes chapter by chapter, section by section, right through the book.
Yeah. Here, what was the distraction? Poop games. Root cause 1, root cause 2, root cause 3. I mean, that'd be interesting to kind of fill out and see what you were really.
Yeah, no, I think that's great.
Pain management, I think, is a really exciting one that we're gonna dig.
I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, I almost listened into it today, but I realized that I had really covered a lot for my brain, and I actually listened from. I only listened to the introduction once, but from section 1 through to number 3 on the what the fuck's it called? God damn it, my brain. What motivates us really is how far I made it in. There's quite a bit. There was quite a bit between there for me to think about and ruminate on. Are you frozen? Or are you just sitting so still that you're angelically looking at the sky?
I think I was frozen. I was frozen.
Okay. Oh yeah. You were definitely frozen. At least you weren't frozen like this. You had a fairly normal expression on your face. You were just looking up.
Well, good. Fairly normal. I'll take
it. Take it.
Fairly normal. He also has this internal triggers workbook. If you want to do this, I'm going to show this tab instead. It's the trigger decoder. Distractions, and this might be really useful too. Spot.
And that's under the bonus content as well.
Yep. And this ride the wave concept is it is directly tied into cognitive behavioral therapy. It's also directly tied into dialectical behavioral therapy. It is a tool that is used in different ways. And with different wording. I mean, people use this for borderline personality disorder, for substance use, all these things. What time did the urge hit? Where were you? What were you doing just before the urge? What were you feeling? Anxious, bored, frustrated, tired, lonely, restless.
Just for the hell of it, I did the process again and it worked. And I've already signed up for it. So that's totally a method you can use to get this information.
Excellent. All right. So here's this, and then I was trying to find. Let's see. Inner habit tracker. Let's do this one. So
yeah, I was just looking. That's what got me to say, hey, you need to go look at this. Is that habit tracker and the schedule thing?
Share this tab. Yep, and then I go to like down at the bottom. It says like a sample habit tracker. And so you slept 8 hours last night. You can check that off. You took your vitamins and supplements, like mark off the days. Was your goal met? No. Avoided fast food, like whatever your goal was, you allowed yourself
Right. The
like
goal would be what you put
to
in that line.
that
Right.
thing.
Right.
So you can click over here on use template, and then what happens is your own Excel spreadsheet will show up. Then you're able to like edit it and fill it out. So like I could be like, um, only drink 2 energy drinks.
Yep. Yeah.
Energy
You fill it out with
drinks
whatever your goal is.
a day instead of 3 or 4. Right? And then I can go through
Yep.
and be like, okay, for the 31 days, did I do that? A fun fact is if you like see how that kind of gets lost there, if you come up here to
Mm-hmm.
the top and you kind of do this, it'll actually move that out so you can see all your things. So if your habit tracker explanation is longer than what there is room in the field, that's a fun
I like the distraction tracker. I'm looking through them, fucking with them. The distraction
yeah.
tracker is kind of cute
And
too.
it's still, even though you can fill it out, there's still the sample. There's still a
Yeah.
list of habits that you can pull from if you want, if
Right.
you feel a little bit, dull. And then here, he takes you back to his link if you want to be able to,
Yeah.
if you want to be
Yeah.
able
That's
to
pretty
look
cool.
again.
Pretty neat stuff.
You can copy and paste that and put that up into your thing and get more hints and tips and such. So again, it is. I think we've lost our entire audience because we got
I think so
technical
too.
here.
I think so
But
too. We're at an
you
hour and 6 minutes anyway, so it's
we are at an hour and 6 minutes. But like I could geek out about this stuff all day long. I love myself some free resources.
the whole
I love
point
myself
of
a
doing
good
this
workbook. I love
podcast.
myself a good Excel spreadsheet that is created in spite of me.
Yep.
Just fun. How to
Yep.
handle a distracting boss. Ooh, that's one I haven't seen yet.
The whole point of doing this was to have a podcast style show where we talked about stuff.
Stuff like this, where
Yeah.
again, I just don't feel like the audience that I want to speak to the most really digs into books like this because I think it's in our minds that it doesn't relate to us because we are not
Mm-hmm.
product developers, we are not white collar workers, we are not academics, we are not list the things that we think we are not, and so therefore this stuff does not apply to us. So I think it's really important that we take and we go like, your job search into retail, and then once you do get a job in retail, and then me, I'm in the service industry and I'm in the back of the house and I'm in these
Mm-hmm.
things where like maybe it doesn't seem on the surface that these things apply, but they really 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 do. And what is this? This is a happiness. Oh, okay, I should share this because it's fun. This is another resource. And it is the happiness hack infograph. And I think who isn't trying to be happier, right?
Right. Well, I
Oh,
certainly
man,
like
the
being
stage.
happy.
Here we go. Yeah, exactly. So the happiness hack, this one ritual made me much happier. Studies show that adult friendships have a significant impact on our happiness and well-being. In fact, lack of of friendships may be hazardous to your health. So thank you, Richard, for being my friend.
Oh, you're welcome.
Easy to talk
And
to,
thank you for being my
dependable,
friend.
enjoyable. These are all the things. You fit all these categories. Finding someone to talk to and depend on comes naturally when you're young. It's harder once we get older, blah, blah, blah. The problem is friendships starve to death. The people we care about, obviously. Again, this is a great how to commit to the kibbutz. Not
That's
to
cute.
the Judaism in me.
Oh my god.
The kibbutz. You gotta love a good kibbutz.
That's hilarious. It's awesome.
But it comes to book the time. And I say, Richard, I book many of my Mondays to spend with you because this is a friendship interaction. I say thank you to everybody in our chat because when you show up, it is also like you are seen. We are here for you. Even if you're not many of you come in and out and you lurk.
Yeah.
And I appreciate all of you for taking the time to come up and show up and share this time with us. I consider you my
I
friend.
agree.
I'm glad that you booked the time to come visit us during these conversations. Please feel free to engage. If you're in the replay, make sure you put that in the comments that you're in the replay. Put any questions, comments, idle thoughts, everything down in there. I get the notification and I do respond. And then if it's something that I can't respond to, I share it with Richard and we respond together. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, and I make the time to check those things because you
Jimmy's a professional. Thank you, Woody.
Jimmy
Appreciate
is a
that
professional
clarification.
lurker, and welcome Woody's Garage.
Welcome,
Thank
Woody's
you for
Garage.
showing up.
Jeez. We appreciate you.
Don't
More than
forget
you know.
to subscribe and share out to your friends. I'm personally trying to hit that 500, and since we share the show on my channel, and Richard already has 500 people as subscribers,
I got that minis.
share the love, and you know, maybe Richard and I will get to the point where we share some exclusive content to members, and you know, just all the things.
We'll
all
get
the
to that
things.
point. It's just got to get that channel up there for the time. And I will not ever monetize my channel because my channel's my deal, my thing.
Yeah, and
It's
a little
not
different of a
about money.
situation.
Whereas
It's not about
something like this could easily be monetized. And even if it only brought you in an extra $10 a month, it's enough to pay for some of your expenses for this production.
I do buy for $24 a month my Audible things that I'm sharing with all you.
Well, and not only that, you just bought me a gifted credit. So,
I
you
get
know,
2 credits a month. So if I
Yeah.
can just recoup my Audible costs, that makes this all worthwhile. And if you all learn something from this, then it's fine. It's fine.
yep,
Um,
that's icing on the cake.
icing on and I'm not really here to monetize exclusively. I just want to get to the point of having the ability to be able to.
Well,
So even
it's
if I decide
and that's
not
the
to, I
whole
just wanna
point.
have the ability. I want to have
Yeah.
the option.
Yeah. And see, the reason I wanted to get to the monetization thing was so I could have super chats and those. Now they take a big chunk of that. They take 30% of whatever you give on a super chat, but 70% of something is better than 100% of nothing. So
That
I wanted to have those choices. I still have a whatever fucking Cash App, Venmo thing, PayPal, whatever that people could do as well. But I make all the little things that pop up on the things. You can click it and do all that. I don't do all that fancy stuff because my channel's not about that at
I
all.
think too, though, when you
So-
qualify for things like super chats and when you receive super chats, I think what it also does is it informs the algorithm that people are interested in what you're doing.
Mhm.
Therefore, more people see what you're doing.
Yeah. Your
And more
impression
people
rate
can-
goes up because of it, I think. I agree.
Yes, and more people can benefit from what it is that we're saying. And at the end of the day, let's not let big news and big media and these conglomerates that already make gobs of money in other ways rule the internet. The internet is for the little guy. The YouTubes are for the little guy. And
We
the
talk
more
about
that
real
I
stuff.
the more that I can spread the word about little guys in order to be able to get a variety of information in front of people and a variety of perspectives in front of people that is not this curated sort of institutionalized news and information superhighway. I think the better off we are as humanity. And really that's my number one goal to getting to 500 is for that reason and that reason alone.
It's awesome.
Just to get these books in front of more people that fit into me.
And Jimmy, you does use Nightbot. I've never messed with Nightbot. Yeah, we could probably check into that.
I mean, eventually I'll get to
Well,
that.
yeah, we're not, but these are things that we can think about. They're on the table. They're, I mean, I would have never mentioned Nightbot because I don't. It's not a thing for me.
Nightbot, the good AI.
Nightbot. If I want a link in my chat, one of my mods can do it, or I'll put it in there.
Right. But also Nightbot is great because it's a good.
Oh,
way to
it's
share.
way
I mean,
huge,
we are
and
really
I guess.
planning-
And I guess it can be a love-hate relationship too. So, because it does become annoying sometimes
Yeah.
in your chat. So,
But if I can schedule a way for these authors that we're digging into to kind of constantly pop up in the chat to remind people to go check out the original creators of this information. That
I
we're
think that's a
digging
great
into.
idea, and I think it's something
I
we
think it's great.
we should pursue in the long run. Absolutely, because I think that's a great alternative to everything
and
else.
I'm not. I'll have to pick Jimmy's mind about the Nightbot and see how to incorporate.
Jimmy
it,
will help.
because
Jimmy's cool like that.
Jimmy is cool like that. He always sends me a link to join his show, and one of these days I'm gonna do it from the kitchen in which I'm working and be like, just hey y'all, I'm sitting here making homemade mayo. Like, what's that?
That'd be kind of fun.
I really thought about it. But
Thanks,
there
Woody.
goes.
Appreciate
Trying
you.
not to be distracted. Oh,
Yeah.
wow, we're an hour and 15 minutes. I guess I should
Yep.
find that outro track.
Yep. Then we'll be indistractable until next
Oh,
week.
Actually, speaking
Actually.
of next week is
Bingo duck
my
races.
bingo duck race. Okay, we're trying not to distract people from the information, but
He's doing a really good job. Really
He's
good
doing a good
job,
job.
Woody.
Next week is my daughter's birthday, and I think I'm gonna be heading up to my boyfriend's house a little bit early so we can take her out to lunch.
So we week off?
Are we gonna take? Why don't we take a week off? That'll give you extra time to build up your work.
Yeah, I'll just
work
keep
that
going
workbook
through
a
the
little
book
bit.
and then going through the worksheet, and that'll give me things to actually answer and say to you about what we're going through because I'll have already done them in the workbook.
Which reminds me, even though I said I was going to take a week off, I think I scheduled the live for next week, so I'm going to move that.
You did just reschedule it because and how I know that is because when I opened up the chat today, it was the wrong chat. It was next week's chat, and I couldn't see Jimmy C saying hello, and I went, wait a minute. Why can't I see Jimmy C? So I went back and looked at it and I went, oh, this is live in 6 days.
Yeah, live in 6 days. Something else that I realized, though, is I did a really good job with the hashtags on the show. So if you click through those hashtags, you will find other shit and stuff.
Yeah,
So
there's cool stuff out there.
go look through the other shit and stuff. I have links to the member resources for Nir Eyal. I have links, and click on the hashtags, and you can find more information on some of the stuff that we've covered. Or I think you can even find some of our past episodes if I put the hashtags in those episodes correctly. So otherwise, Richard, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun.
Yes, it has.
My dogs are barking. My daughter wants my attention. All the things. So I'm
Fair
gonna
enough.
get out of here. I appreciate
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you later. Appreciate
Not
you,
next week,
Carrie.
but the week after.
Week after.
All right. Bye. Oh wait. I have to pull up. Wait. There. Okay. Keep waving. Let me see your princess wave. Keep waving. Yep. Nice job, Richard. Just keep up the good work.
I got this. Said
Keep
Princess
going.
Wave, and I
There
went
you
right into
go.
Princess mode.
And you did.
Oh, we took a ride on this talk show.
There we go. That's what we were.
Stories shared and secrets low. Time to linger, but we gotta go. Voices faded with
I
the
did miss
moon's
you,
call.
Robbie. So if you're in the replay,
Laughter echoed
Robbie
down the
Stingle, we
hall.
missed you today.
Thoughts that flew like paper dolls. Wrap it up and let it fall. Turn the volume down low, my friends. This chatter's come to an end. Till we gather again and again. Let these moments extend. In the quiet, hear the clock tick tock. Words won't stop, but we'll walk the walk. Dream a little till the next talk. Out of time, let's unlock. Turn the volume down low, my friends. This chatter's come to an end. Till we gather again and again. Let these moments extend. In the quiet, hear the clock tick tock. Words won't stop, but we'll walk the walk. Dream a little till the next talk. Out of time, let's unlock. Turn the volume This chatter's come to an end, till we gather again and again. Let these moments extend. We signed in with open minds. Now we drift on the book of fine, page by page until we bind. Sweet goodbyes, let's unwind.